So good evening, everyone. Welcome. Also, welcome to those people that are connecting online, various places. So let's settle into our evening with our meditation. Taking this time to pause and become present, arriving into the present moment as we relax and release any stress tension of the happening of the day, the happening of the week so far. Using this time to relax, release, let go. Let go thoughts about what has been, any thoughts or concerns about what might be, and settling into the present moment, this place and point of existence. Meditation is realizing the point of existence, the present moment where life is happening from. For bringing mindful attention to our breath, our reference point for the present. Just bringing awareness to our body, this arena of knowing, a platform of experience. The first of the four foundations of mindfulness, mindfulness of the body experience. So feeling into our body sitting here, grounding awareness in the body. Getting a sense of the body sitting here, particularly through some points of contact sensations and sensory experience. Particularly feeling our feet, legs connecting with the floor. Contact sensation, feet, legs against the floor. Bringing our awareness up to sense and feel the touch of our body connecting with the chair, the cushion, or meditation stool. Mindfully noticing that. Noticing how we can notice without thought. Thought is not required, just simply noticing. No need for labels or judgment, comparisons. Just a mindful knowing. Sensation of sitting. Bringing awareness up to our hands and fingers resting in our lap. Making sure they feel comfortable, adjusting them if we need to. And feeling the contact sensation of hands and fingers. One hand against the other or against the fabric of our clothes. Just sensing, feeling, noticing. Bringing awareness up further to our face, noticing our face. Maybe sensing subtle air, breeze against our face. Perceiving also some degree of light coming in through the closed eyelids. Particularly looking into that lightness, brightness, blankness. Background sounds, but not being distracted or disturbed by those. Particularly not engaging the internal mental sight or sound of any thoughts. as we choose to focus the mind's attention in the present and particularly to the naturally occurring breath, especially at the nose or nostril area. It's fundamental basic practice, mindfulness of breathing, anapanasati, developing concentration or coalescence of mind, samadhi, resulting in samatha, calm, and inner peace, shanti. Directing attention, sustaining attention to feel each in-breath, each out-breath. Allowing mind and body to harmonize. Awareness of the physical sensation of each breath in each moment as we practice being present. Being present in a calm, attentive, receptive way. Please help yourself to some tea and biscuits. So we find ourselves experiencing the changes of the seasons. Only a couple of weeks to go before it's summer. Time passing. Mid-November. The year passing. Always good to pause and reflect with the passing of time, to consider, well, time is passing, life is happening. And how well am I using my time? Mentioned many times before, there's a set of 10 reflections. Generally, they're reflections for those that have gone forth from home to homelessness, living the homeless life, so to speak, monastic life, spiritual life. But they're 10 reflections which are good for anybody that's engaged in spiritual practice, meditation practice, Dharma practice, to be aware of and to consider. Some of them pertain particularly to monastic life, being a renunciant monk or nun. But there's one that I think is good for anybody, everybody to reflect upon on a regular basis. It's one that probably the only one that I know off by heart in Pali. But these 10 reflections, when I was first ordained as a Samanera, a novice monk at 17, they were typed up. This is before the the use of computers. They were typed up on a typewriter and put into a frame and put into a prominent position in the meditation hall, Wat Buddha Dharma down in Sydney. And so at times I would stand and read them. When I ended up going to Thailand and taking higher ordination as a bhikkhu, they were reflections that we chanted on a regular basis. So getting to know them as a Buddhist chant. And when I went back to visit the monasteries in Europe, now 20 years ago, my 40th birthday, go back and visit the monasteries in Europe. And so I joined in chanting them with the monks and the nuns there, both in the Pali and the English translation. But the one that stands out, which I think is good for everybody to be aware of, is Katam Buddhassa Mera Tintiva Viti Badantiti Papajitena Abinhang Pachawekitabang, which translates as, the days and nights are relentlessly passing. How well am I spending my time? This should be frequently reflected upon by a spiritual practitioner. Katam Buddhassa Mera Tindiva Viti Badantiti Papajitena Abinhang Pachawekitabang. And particularly as well as we certainly, everyone's getting older. No one's 25 here. So we all are getting older, and particularly to go, okay, well, how am I using my time? Particularly in the context of time and energy being the two most valuable assets of our life. Time and energy. These are two commodities that, in a way, they are life. Life is the manifestation of energy through time. Energy manifesting physically, mentally, emotionally, through time. We can talk about buying time, but it's only sort of an idea. But generally, you can't sort of buy more time in the true sense, or even more energy. It's about these two things that have a limit in the context of life, using them well. And there's particular markers in our life that help us to remind, okay, maybe now I'm this age, another decade's gone by, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 onwards, or even just the ending of a year. Another year. And even where we're at now, like mid-November, it's like 5 weeks till Christmas. Only sort of really another month before things get a bit sort of just really focused on holidays and so forth. So in terms of the consideration, how am I using my time, and how do I want to use my time and energy over the next month? Because there may be things that require our time, energy, attention over the next month to get things settled, sorted, fixed up, addressed before the end of the year. Certainly that's the way the world orientates and sort of works. There's things that need to be done, sorted out before the end of the year, achieved, fulfilled. But I think even more specifically to go, okay, well, in the context of Dharma practice, spiritual practice, how are we using our time? And particularly, how can we best use our time and energy over the next month? Sort of leading up to that time when maybe the routines change, maybe some time off work, maybe people coming to visit, maybe we're visiting people, family, guests, and so forth. Routines change to some degree. What routines, what practices do we want to sort of maintain over, not just over the next month, but beyond that, through that Christmas holiday period, which for us won't be the silly season, could be the spiritual season. the mindful season, the meditative season. Maybe you're going on a retreat. Go on a retreat. The first meditation retreat I ever did was Christmas, New Year. Again, when I was 17, Wat Buddha Dharma. It was really a really good way of using that period of time. 10-day retreat. It was painful. Not because I wasn't home with my family enjoying Christmas meals and so forth, but sort of throwing myself into meditation in a deep way, physically painful, physically uncomfortable. I can sit a lot better now at this age than I could when I was 17. Body's more flexible, the joints are a bit looser. But you know, again, to consider that where people often look forward to, you know, end of the year, Christmas, New Year, time to sort of celebrate, party, doing different things. Well, how can we make this time special for us, and maybe even as an example to others? Example to others, to have a mindful, meditative, moving towards the end of the year, and particularly with the momentum that we developed through the Vassa retreat. So the Vassa retreat ended 20th of October, so it's just over 3 weeks ago. And so that ideally that momentum that we gathered for the 3 months, 12 weeks, that continues. Particularly certain practices that you may have engaged upon over that period, to keep it going. So it can sort of flow into the ending of the year. And then maybe even into the new year, to keep these things going, which is why it's great to have the Vassa retreat period to develop some practices, developing, deepening meditation, engaging some practices that we can build on every year. And certainly everyone here, all of us, we've been meditating for some time now. No one's brand new to meditation. Some of you have been meditating for decades. So it's like, this is special. So continuing to consolidate and develop and deepen, yes, meditation, strength of mindfulness, and also an attitude or a mindset that is coming from wisdom, a wise mindset, an attitude, approach to engage the activities of living, activities of daily life, ADLs, and also engaging mental experience in a mindful way, dealing with thoughts that come up, mental states, emotions, mood states, engaging them from a wisdom perspective, a wisdom sort of mindset, a wisdom schema. And particularly, as mentioned towards the end of the Vassa retreat, and along the lines of the reference book that I sent out, Rethinking the Buddha, by Evyatar Schulman, that sense of the Buddha's teachings and the Buddha's way of practice being a way of considering or looking at experience, particularly through the four truths, Four Noble Truths, to look at experience in such a way to see and to notice, there is, or this is, suffering, or a sense of unease or unsatisfactoriness. There is a cause to this unsatisfactoriness or this unease, which is basically clinging and grasping, attachment. There can be the ending of the unease or distress, ultimately with enlightenment. And there is a way to bring this about, practicing the Eightfold Path, which fundamentally is morality, meditation, and wisdom. So that is sort of like an attitude or an approach to look at experience through. And in a way that becomes the whole of the practice, the whole of the Buddha's teachings is to certainly maintaining our morality, ethics, living in a wholesome way that helps the mind to become calm and more settled, not caught into regret, remorse, guilt, shame, confusion, that then allows the mind to be more settled for the meditation, developing the meditation, refining the quality of consciousness to then be able to see and perceive in a more direct and deeper way, and particularly seeing from a wisdom perspective, Four Noble Truths. So in a way, the practice is really quite simple. Buddha's teachings is quite simple at that sort of level. When I first, again, ordained as a Buddhist monk, learning some of the Buddha's teachings and seeing that these teachings that are put into print forms, like, wow, there's so much there. The Buddha taught for 45 years and so much was recorded, chanted, recorded, later on written down. It's like, wow, how can we learn all this stuff and know all this stuff? But fundamentally, it's just the whole practice, the whole Buddha's teachings, Sila, Samadhi, Panya, morality, meditation, and wisdom. And of course, Buddhism, the ism of the fundamental Buddhist teachings, the Buddhism has extrapolated and expanded upon a lot of these basic teachings to have lots of practices, sometimes amazing practices, that certainly can suit certain characters and certain dispositions and certain sort of needs of people. But fundamentally, it's just the whole practice is Sila, Samadhi, Panya, morality, meditation, wisdom. Morality supports the meditation. The more the meditation is enabled, a calm, clear mind, peace of mind, inner joy, the mind letting go of being caught up and attached to sensory experience, because the pleasure and peace of meditation is so profound. Also, the refinement of mind through the meditation, the mind becoming freed from the 5 hindrances that are manifestations of greed, anger, ignorance, which then helps to motivate the mind towards more morality, simplifying things, even restraint, things that we just don't need to do, don't need to experience, able to live more simply. And that also then feeds into the wisdom aspect, because the mind is calmer and clear to see things more clearly, to understand what the Buddha was pointing out in a deep, penetrative way, enabling deep, profound insight, not just information, not even just knowledge, I know this stuff, but actually profound insight, liberating insight. Then frees the mind from being caught up in confusion, delusion, illusion, developing this profound peace and freedom. I continue to take joy in reading the Buddha's teachings, but also finding the simplicity in them as well. Particularly being able to realize, well, what is the practice? What is the practice? What is my practice? What is our practice? What was the Buddha's practice? And the Buddha's practice it's quite simple. So the Buddha's practice is our practice, is my practice. And this is really, really simple, free from any sort of additives that are not really necessary, belief systems, dogma, rites and rituals, just basic common sense for living one's life as a human being. And in that, there's a great sense of joy. It helps to then gain perspective on some of the stuff that the world is operating from. Who gets voted in an American election, or what's happening in the business world, or sort of the economics of countries and so forth, and who's fighting who, and etc. It's like, well, when we sort of know what the practice is and orientate the mind towards that, it helps to put everything else into perspective. There's a sense of joy in that, even a sense of saddha confidence. Saddha, one of the 5 spiritual powers. Confidence in this path of practice, confidence in the Buddha's teachings, confidence that that we're on the path and can realize what the Buddha was talking about in this very lifetime. And that gives a sense of joy. Because sometimes issues in life happen, we get caught up in the busyness of things and the to-do lists and things that didn't get done, should have got done, couldn't get done, won't get done, might get done, all these sorts of things that we'd want to achieve. It's like, well, actually, when it comes down to it, it's about the practice. And that's something which can happen pretty much anywhere whilst we're awake. It's difficult to practice when you're asleep. So I have some thoughts about that. But, bringing mindfulness and awareness to what we're experiencing externally, internally, the right relationship to experience, not relating through greed, anger, ignorance, but relating through generosity, kindness, wisdom. Again, being aware of to see the four truths, living from the Eightfold Path as a template, and knowing that we're on track. It's not too difficult, is it? And again, it means there's not a whole lot of stuff to learn and to remember or to recite. It's just we know what to do. And mindfulness keeps us on track so that we don't get distracted. That thought of, can we practice when we're asleep? We all have dreams, I guess. We all dream. And we think, well, in the dream, it's a dream. But in the dream, I was thinking, well, if there's some degree of having a choice or making a decision in a dream, then that maybe, yes, it's coming from our subconscious or where we're at, but also if we're choosing, then it can be like a good thing, choosing a wholesome thing. And so it's like, well, even maybe creating good karma and merit in a dream. It might be like in the dream, you go out of your way to be helpful, or you give away something and to help somebody. It's like, okay, even in dreams, we can be doing the good thing, doing the right thing and making merit, and as opposed to just indulging. All the things that you can't have in life, get them in your dreams. But even dreams can be sort of a point of practice as well. So, and especially if they're in many ways aspects and elements of our life, and if our life is involved spiritual practice, Dharma practice, then in the dreams that we're doing things, being that wise, caring, considered person, and that's sort of, so it's going deeper even into the subconscious. So that's a good sign. So for yourselves, as we move towards the ending of the year, again, it'll be summer, 1st of December, which is actually the day of our last retreat day for the year. And obviously about 5 weeks till Christmas, and we're probably, those of you that are working, sort of stopping work before Christmas. Some people might have to work. If you're working in a hospital or something. But any thoughts or considerations yourself about using your time energy well over the next month? Any concerns about the challenges of the ending of the year? Brendan?
I mentioned it to you earlier, that just to share with the group that through to the end of the year and into the beginning of next year, my normal routine is going to be thrown out. So I'll be traveling back and forth. We've got an investment property on the northern end of the Gold Coast. I'll be heading up there each week. We've got our house here renting out on Airbnb, so I'll be coming back and forth. Just see it as a wonderful opportunity to be aware of how that affects my thinking, my reaction to things that may go wrong or be difficult. And so, yeah, I'm finding that the more I practice, the more awareness I have of those sorts of situations. So it's good, you know, if I think about how I dealt with these things in the past, there'd be stress and frustration and, you know, maybe anger, you know, towards certain situations. But with that different perspective, and I guess the reconditioning that's happening through practice, I can see it as an opportunity to learn more. See it as a positive thing, from a spiritual growth.
That's good.
I find that exciting.
Together with some driving meditation.
But yeah, just being mindful and aware of, you know, what I'm doing, but also how I'm reacting to those situations.
And ideally responding rather than reacting.
Yeah.
That's good. Right attitude.
I was also thinking about the dream theory, and I do feel that my dreams, when something happens in my dreams now, if I feel that it's wrong or immoral, like that thought does come to me in the dream, that like, oh, this shouldn't be happening, or I shouldn't be doing this. This is not how I want to be acting. So yeah,
that's good.
I think there's something to that.
Anyone working through Christmas? Nick? No?
1 year off. I worked the last few years, so this is my day off.
That's good.
Sonia? I don't have a roster yet.
Anton? You're working?
Sometimes it feels nice to work on Christmas Day though, when you feel like there are obviously industries that need to work on Christmas Day. So sometimes I like to think that it's just a day of my presence as a gift for other people to be at home.
It's good. Yeah, it's a good time to have that attitude to make sort of good karma and to merit being helpful, being supportive, sense of giving up something that you know, might be pleasant and nice, being at home with family and friends to be helpful for others. And often in a team play, especially hospitals, there's a sense of camaraderie and a sense of, you know, we're the team, we're here together for this particular time. Other people are on holidays, but we're here supporting each other. Does it feel like the years sort of really pacing up? Given that, you know, we ended the Bussa retreat and then suddenly it's like, wow, it's this month's already half over. It's December in 2 weeks' time. It's like, whoa, where did it go? Are we ready for 2025? I guess it's all relative because whatever one's experience has been as to whether it's like, oh, I'm so over 2024, I can't wait for the next year to begin. This year's been so tedious and but so tiring, taxing, and just want to get it done with. Or, you know, wow, it's just it's happening too fast.
I want to go to the retreat that May went to.
Yeah. Everyone wants to go there.
We have to get a one-on-one debrief. Or I can just go.
Well, those sorts of retreats you can sort of arrange even oneself.
Mm.
But the right place to be and just go and camp outside and do meditation and leave the phone at home or elsewhere.
You fasted as well, right? No eating?
Mm.
Just water.
Anyone got a retreat planned over the Christmas New Year period?
Yeah, I'm going down to Sydney, the Blue Mountains.
Okay, for a retreat.
Yeah, basically, I'm just gonna spend, about 4 or 5 days in a monastery just before Christmas, but it's not a retreat.
Mm.
I go there quite often.
So which monastery is that?
It's a new one, it's called, Mountain Spring. Mountain Spring.
Mountain Spring.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's in Bilton.
right. And
It's about 4 years old now.
what sort of monastery is it?
It's the Thich Nhat Hanh tradition.
Okay, right,
Yeah.
right. Mm.
So, but I basically be there with the monks, just living with them for 4 or 5 days.
Mm. And how many monks are there?
There are 4 monks and there's about 10 nuns.
Okay,
Oh.
that's good. So is it a fairly big property?
Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, it's amazing. What's happening there?
Mm. It's Bilpin?
Yeah,
So that's where they have the apples.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Mm.
Yes, we have apples every day.
Mm. Good. Well, you can let us know how it went.
Sure.
Well, that's good.
But I will probably go, they have a retreat, not there, but somewhere else. They have a retreat every year.
Mm.
And I'm planning to go there on the end of the year, just
Yeah.
the 31st.
Mm.
Spend the night with them.
Mm.
It's a big retreat, it's about 200 people.
Oh, wow, gosh.
Yeah.
How long is that?
It's 7 days. Yeah. It ends on the 2nd of January.
Mm. That's good. Well, we can do retreats here, more than a 1 day, but it will need to be non-residential. So go home and sleep and come back. A bit more challenging because it's easy to get distracted. Go home and stuff happening. Mm. Well, do be mindful, certainly over the next month, and a sense of the year moving to conclusion and finality, and to remind and remember to stay on track with our practice. And certainly over the next month, the more practice that we do helps to develop that mind strength, so that we don't get caught into distractions over the sort of Christmas, New Year period, and sort of keep our routines going. Makes it easier to then flow into the practices for next year. Mm. Good. Well, thanks for coming out tonight. We've haven't had any rain, so that's good. Dry for the moment. The lights are still on. The water's still running. Have a great week and see you next time. Good.